Back here on HQ Spotlight, and we're already seeing some separation happening in the AFC South. Two teams at the top, the Colts and Jags, both 3-1, and at the bottom, the Texans' only win is against the winless Titans. But a division win is a division win. So let's talk about the AFC South, give out some grades. For that, we welcome in Wilson and John Breech. Let's start at the top with the Colts, already 3-0 versus AFC teams. John, what grade would you give Indiana Jones and the Colts?
Emily, I love the Indiana Jones movies, and I love how the Colts are playing. I am giving them an A+. I think what Daniel Jones has been doing this year has been nothing short of shocking. Even if you were the biggest Daniel Jones fan, the president of his fan club, I think that was you, Wilson, I don't think anyone thought the Colts were going to start out like this at 3-1, and they've had some impressive wins. They beat the Broncos a couple weeks ago on a last-second field goal. Probably would have beaten the Rams if Adonai Mitchell had not forgotten the rules of football, so this team could be very easily 4-0. And one big reason they've been so good is because of Jonathan Taylor. It seems when he is healthy, he is one of the best running backs in the NFL. Had a little bit of trouble staying healthy, but he is good to go right now, and we have seen him taking over. He's the NFL rushing leader heading into Week 5. You look at that schedule, a lot of manageable games. I love the Colts. That's why they're getting an A+.
What a year to be alive, Breech. Daniel Jones having a career year. Mac Jones having a career year. Indiana Jones somehow still relevant. And by the way, Emily, I think Breech is so frisky with his grades and being so polite because an album dropped today, and he is apparently pretty excited about it. But he's exactly right about what Daniel Jones has been able to accomplish in Indianapolis. Has a lot to do with Shane Steichen getting the most out of him. And it just reinforces what we've been talking about for 4 weeks now. Fit matters. Fit matters if you're Sam Darnold. Fit matters if you're Mac Jones. And for Indianapolis and Indiana Jones, fit matters with Daniel Jones playing some of the best football of his life. I gave him an A.
Yeah, Breech just trying to get through the segment so we can go listen to his Taylor Swift, but we got more AFC South teams to talk about. You mentioned fit, Ryan, and the fit seems pretty nice for Liam Cohen in his first year with the Jags. So what grade would you give Jacksonville?
I gave a B.
Oh, no.
I believe that
Ryan. You know, it sounded like he was going to give him a B.
What are you going to give him?
I'm going to give him... Emily, you just mentioned Taylor Swift. They might be listening to Taylor Swift on Monday night in Jacksonville because they are playing the Chiefs. I love what Liam Cohen has done so far. I am giving them an A+. And if I could give out my vote for Coach of the Year through the first quarter of the season, it would be Liam Cohen. I think what he has done there has been phenomenal. He did really what he did in Tampa Bay. And when he was the offensive coordinator there, he flipped the script by getting the rushing attack going, and that turned around the whole entire offense. That's what he's done in Jacksonville. Travis Etienne has looked great so far this year, and the defense is playing out of its mind. They already have 13 turnovers through 4 weeks, which is more than they had during the entire 2024 season. So it's not just the offense, it is also the defense. It's both sides of the ball. This team is one bad pass interference call away from being 4-0. I think the Jags are for real, and they're going to be a playoff contender come December. So they get an A+ for me.
Wow, another A+. And Ryan, you really built some suspense there. Cut you off right at B, but I think it's better than a B, right? What's the grade?
Yeah, I was lamenting how awesome I love the way that Liam Cohen's approaching this thing, and I even went so far as to make the Liam Cohen proved himself to everyone else in that into the San Francisco game, calling out Robert Saleh. So I think this team is on the right track, and they've been a lot of fun to watch.
You gave him a B+, correct? Just want to get that right.
B+ indeed.
B+.
Thank you. That's right.
Okay, there we go. All right, let's move on to the Texans. Coming off a shutout win over the Titans. But, John, overall, looking at the Texans in this early season, what's the grade?
I'm going with the C-. They're 1-3, which is ugly, but you look at their losses, they have been close. The 5-point loss to the Rams in Week 1, a 1-point loss to the Buccaneers in Week 2. All 3 losses have been by 1 score. So it's really, can this team get their offense going? The offensive line has struggled. If they can fix that problem, C.J. Stroud has time to throw, get the ball to his receivers, and the Texans can quickly turn things around. So I'm not completely down on them, but for now I'm giving them a C-.
Yep, C- for me too, John. And I'm not completely down on them either, in part because of the blowout win over the Titans, and they struggled to beat the Titans. And also, this sounds crazy to say, they got a get-right game this week against a depleted Ravens team, so they can get the 2 wins and be right back in it.
All right, I'm afraid to ask, but we got to complete the division. Titans, Ryan, what's the grade?
Sorry, producer James, I'm sorry, I was thinking about the Panthers. This is a similar conversation. Titans have an F.
We'll get to that. Let's start with the Titans.
Yeah, it's not a tough conversation because Cam Ward is a bright spot, and that would be the last bright spot. There's a lot to work through. They don't have playmakers at the wide receiver position. The offensive line is struggling, and Brian Callahan is coaching for his job. So one tiny bright spot, Cam Ward, and they're still winless.
Yeah, I give them an F. If you have watched just 10 seconds of any of the games they've played, you understand why they're getting the F. They've scored the fewest points in the NFL. They have the fewest passing yards. And it really feels like Cam Ward is essentially being set up to fail, so it's hard for him to be the bright spot. So I am giving Tennessee a giant red F.
Yeah, 10 straight losses for the Titans. And with that ringing endorsement of the AFC South, here are some games you have to look forward to. Texans, the slight favorite over the Ravens, likely without Lamar Jackson. We've got Raiders, Colts, Titans, and Arizona. And on Monday Night Football, it's Chiefs and Jags.